Welcome, everyone. For all of you that are here today for our amazing webinar with Beverly, I'd like to introduce you all to Beverly. My name is Brana. I'm filling in for Crystal today, and we will be our guest today that Beverly will be working in their CRM system is Ernestina. So for all of you participants, please note that you can ask questions at any point in time while Beverly and Ernestina and myself are going through the different conversations. You can either raise your hand or put questions in the QA or the chat. And we are happy to answer those questions when time permits for us to do that throughout the day. So I'm going to pass this over to Beverly and Ernestina, and welcome to our webinar. Go ahead.
Thank you. Ernestina, I always start out. We have an hour together. So at the top of the hour, I want you to be able to say, oh my God, that was so worth my time. What is it that you really want to get out of our time together today? What's your biggest objectives, objections, and just talk to me.
Beverly, I just realized preparing for this just last hour that I get sidetracked. I'm not organized at all. So you were talking about filters. We were talking about making 25 calls or doing it. And so what happens with me is I get a couple of people that I speak to from CRM or from referrals or different things. And then I get overwhelmed and I don't get to do my calls, right? Then I go back onto the system. I start calling, okay? But I'm not organized that I do it. So recently it was the same thing. I got personal referral. It was a commercial leases, started running around town, a potential 10 leases possibility. So I thought, okay, this is worth it, right? And so I invested the time and everything else fell through, right? And so I have to just set myself up. And I think I was in 3 of your sessions. And I know this is going to be worthwhile. Thank you so much for taking the time. So if you can just take it as if I'm starting again and just, what would you say my priorities are? Because I have to start doing that and not getting sidetracked. You know what I mean? So I'm going to schedule everything around that.
Okay. And I love that we're starting out with this, because before we jump into your system, this is something that I think everybody needs to hear, and it's always worth repeating because it never gets old. When I had goals set for how many transactions I wanted to close in a year, you really opened this up by stating, when you have a ready, willing, and able buyer or a ready, willing, and able seller, you're there. You want to be face to face. You want to be with them because that's where you know you're closest to the end result, the sale, right? We really have to be mindful of how we're planning our calendar and what we're doing with our calendar, because if we don't, other people are going to be running our calendars. We're not going to be running our calendars, especially in real estate, because there's a lot of fires that happen, right? Your phone rings and you get veered off in another direction when you sat down to call your leads because, oh my gosh, this happened with this home inspection, or this happened with this closing, or there's always things that are pulling us away from things that we know we need to do. So it's really reframing how we're thinking about what that thing is that needs to be done and looking at it just as important as being face to face with the client. So if we break down the process of sitting at the settlement table to generating a lead, there's certain things that happen from the time we've generated a lead to the time we're sitting at the closing table getting that paycheck, right? We have to allow time on our calendar for those different steps. So when you know your goals for the year, and let's just talk about 2024 now, because 2023, we're getting into the last quarter. So let's just talk about 2024. You say you want to do so many listings and you want to do so many buyer sides. How many leads is it going to take to talk to get into their home? How many listing appointments is it going to take to list the properties? How many actual listings is it going to be to sell the properties? So really setting those goals of being realistic, because it's easy to say, oh, I want to do 50 deals next year. But if you just started real estate and you only did 3 this year, it's really difficult to go from 3 to 50. Not impossible, but it's a little bit more difficult, right? So the best way to really create our goals is to say, how much money do I need to make a month to maintain my lifestyle? So when we look at, okay, I want to make X amount of dollars every month that's going to be cash in my checking account. Well, we have to take into consideration every settlement that we close. We've got to pay Uncle Sam, right? So you got to take your taxes off the top. You got to take your expenses off the top, and then what's left for you? So all we need to do to find that number is how many sales do you need to know how much money is going to go into your bank account for you to maintain your lifestyle? And then just set your stretch goal. So that's how we set the goals. And that was just a really important foundation that I wanted to lead with before I break down how you build your calendar. Because once we have the goal, we can set the calendar based upon, if I want to take 6 listings a month, I probably want to do 10 to 12, maybe 13 listing appointments. Well, when do I want to do the listing appointments? If I have no listing appointments scheduled in January, put the fake ones on the calendar. I want to do listing appointments on Tuesday evenings, Saturday late mornings, like 11 o'clock on Saturday. I want to do them Thursday afternoon. Put your listings or your listing appointments on the calendar. Put your showings on the calendar. Because you know what happens? You're going to start treating it as if. If you're treating your calendar as if, what happens on the things that we focus on? They start to become our new reality. And when we don't have the actual appointment, when we don't have the listing appointment, and we're looking at our calendar, what are you going to be mindful of doing? Whatever it takes to get a listing appointment so you don't keep missing listing appointments. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So when we're looking at our calendar, schedule your settlements. If you know you have to do 5 settlements a month, put them on the calendar. And then during that time, that is your no excuses. I have an appointment. Because the reality is, the goal is to be sitting at the settlement table or having that closing. If we're not at a closing, we should be in front of a seller or in front of a buyer, face to face. If we're not in front of them, we should be talking to somebody. If we're not networking, if we're not talking to them, we need to be prospecting. If we're not prospecting, we need to be doing the research to know who to prospect. So it's a 5-step process to get from the prospecting to the calling and the reaching out and finding out who I'm going to be talking to, the meeting with, and the closing. And that's how you stack your calendar for success to prevent the distractions. Because you now are aware that there's distractions that are getting in your way from doing those, let's say, hard things, right? When it's a priority, we don't get distracted. We go do.
See, I don't even think it's as hard to talk on a phone. I just get tired and I didn't have time set up. Like you were saying in the last session, I think that, let's just say, set up at different times in a day, right? When you're going to do certain type of calls. Once I get on the phone, it's not even that is that hard. You made it actually more bearable. You made it easier. It's easier. I get sidetracked and I just focus on one thing.
Yes.
And I lose the track of the rest, right? So also if there is a referral, there is a potential like of my clients, past clients or whatever, knowing what is happening. And the other thing that I'm reconsidering, I went for leases because AgentLocator started doing the leases, right? and it's more immediate money and what I need to do. And I find that it's so time consuming and I don't know if it's worth my while. So I have to reconsider that and get that into a buyer's, because with the sellers, I was looking at a different program for the leads.
Okay. Well, the one thing that I'm going to throw out there is when we're looking at our goals, it's really important to know, what do we want our end result to be? Because what pushed me over the edge and what made me be very aware of my distractions, one thing, I would set a timer every 15 minutes and I would write down what I did the last 15 minutes because I wanted to know where I was losing my time in my day. Because I wanted to be very mindful of what I was doing. And that made me become very aware with where I was losing my time, because our time is money. But the second thing is, we need to be mindful of what is more painful. Eliminating the distractions and making ourselves do what we know we have to do, and being uncomfortable because we're tired, we don't want to do it. What's more painful, pushing through and getting it done, or not meeting the goals and having the money in our bank account? So we always have to be very mindful of what's more important. When we sit down in that moment and say, oh my gosh, I am so tired, I do not want to call my leads, I just don't have space for it. Oh, but my bank account's really low right now, right? It's what is more important, in eliminating that mental chatter to be able to do the things sometimes that we don't want to do in the moment. And a lot of this is the mental game, because it's easy to just kick back and you know, it's easy when an appointment cancels, you're like, yes, I can go to the pool tonight because it's like hot, it's warm, I'm glad they canceled. I have a night off. So it's easy to turn that into, woo, I don't have to work tonight. Where instead, if we have those things on our calendar and those things canceled, that's the best time to take advantage, because we would have been working anyway. No, I'm not telling you to do it all the time. I mean, it's nice to have a cancel every now and then and go, ooh, yeah, right. But we have to be very mindful of those choices that we're making in that moment, because the choice that we make right now is what's going to affect the outcome tomorrow. And I always say in real estate, what we're doing today is where we're going to be in 60 to 90 days. So if we're not prospecting today, we're not going to have the fruit that's going to be bearing in the 60 to 90 days, because the tree was never planted and the seed never got to flourish. So we have to be mindful of, if I don't do it today, and then, oh gosh, tomorrow I got this, and then I'm not going to be able to do it tomorrow. And then the next day, that's 3 days that we will never get back to be able to go back in and do what we know we need to do. So first things first is having that plan and not overthinking it. You know, deer in headlights, that is a term because they don't know what to do. They get flashed in the eyes with the light and then they're like, they freeze. They're like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And that's what we get when we get into overwhelm. We open up the dashboard, and that's my cue now to let me go ahead and share my screen. Because
so,
this is the truth of the day in
if you're
life.
thinking about making the call, please focus on the buyer leads, like forget the rentals.
Okay.
Yeah, just buyers.
Okay. All right. So let me see here. Let me see if they're weeded out. They're all rentals. All right. So let me open up the filter. So I'm going to add a filter item. And then we're going to do, I believe is it source? I believe it's source.
What filter are you trying to add?
It is not. It would be lead type. Right here, lead type. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Lead type.
There it is.
I didn't even know about this, right?
Home buyer. Yes. We can filter just about anything. There's not much that we can filter. So you can take your already preset filter and just add to it. So I'm just going to apply and review. All right.
Can we add a couple of, because I don't know if they do condo buyer or different types of buyers, or if it's just that, or would there be a lead that also, okay.
It just came up as home buyer.
Okay.
You'd have to manually add. You can manually add the different types, the lead types, but then you'd have to make sure that you've changed the lead type in those particular leads
Okay.
Yeah.
for them to come up.
But first things first is having that plan, right? Is all I did was I came in here and I clicked on that right there. And when we're consistently working our database, it should not take you more than 15 minutes a day on the leads that we've never spoke to.
Okay.
So whenever I hear, I don't have time, well, sometimes our database gets away from us. And then, yeah, we open this up and we've got 132 leads in here instead of 32 leads.
Exactly. And that's exactly what's happening with me, right? And so I just, to prevent the overwhelm, I just go with the latest one because I'm thinking, okay, the other ones are already late. Let me at least do a good job, prompt a reply with this. And then it falls through again because I'm focusing on something else and not going back to it.
Well, the most beautiful thing is you can't ever do anything wrong if you're trying to dial. If you're trying to reach out and you're trying to call them, your email should be on automation, your text should be on automation. The only thing that you physically need to do is make those phone calls. And 32 leads, I can tell you, you should be able to get done in less than 30 minutes because it's the 23-second rule.
And not everybody's going to pick up. Yeah.
Yeah. 23 seconds next, 23 seconds next, 23 seconds next. Create those callbacks. So as soon as we get our list, and we narrowed it down because I'm sure I didn't look at how many were in here before we put the buyers, but I'm sure you have more than 32 leads that are in this section, but we kind of just, we shortened our trip when we plugged in the GPS. We rerouted it, so to speak. It's like whenever you sit in your car and you put in your little address and then it shows you like 4 different routes. We just rerouted. We didn't take the best destination that it gave us. We kind of did a different route. So as soon as I click on this very first one, I'm not going to save the filter. So I'm just going to say no. Where if you always wanted to just be home buyers, you could just save the filter and then you never have to type in the home buyer again. Mm-hmm. So now that we have the filter up, look, all your leads are right here. And you just keep going next, next, next. And I can promise you, if none of these leads have been dialed, out of 32, there's going to be 30% are bad phone numbers. There's going to be 9 of these that are bad phone numbers that you will never have to touch again because you can pop them on a bad phone number campaign. So as long as we're making those first initial dials and moving through it, we are a process of eliminating. We may sit down, call 32 people, and nobody answers the phone, but that's okay. Because we were able to process, eliminate, and clean up while we're going to eliminate the exorbitant amount of phone calls. So let's just, what time are we? My things, all right, 2:20.
Yeah, it's 2:20.
Yeah, we got lots of time still.
All right. Well, I'm kind of gauging time to see if I can stop talking for a second. Let's just see in 10 minutes how many dials we can get through.
Okay.
Oh, that was my bad. Hang on. I'm hoping my internet is strong enough to get through these. So all I'm looking for while this is dialing is I'm watching this time click. And where are they looking? Condos in Toronto. So I know I don't need to look at anything else other than knowing. Hello, this is Beverly. I'm just doing a quick check-in. I see that you are online looking at some condos in the Toronto market.
Okay.
And just wondering, do you have any plans on a purchase? Or are you just kind of kicking things around and seeing what's going on with the market, or kind of what's your situation?
Well, we're looking to purchase. Where are you calling from?
You had logged in, let me see, about 39 days ago into a website. You've been getting emails, I think, from Ernestina. You've been in her website looking at some homes and just checking in. How soon do you plan on making a purchase?
You're breaking up.
Yeah, it's breaking up a little bit. How soon do you plan on making a purchase?
Well, when we see something that is a right factor, then we'll put it on.
Okay. Have you been in any homes yet?
Well, here and there, yeah.
Okay. And how did you get in those homes? Do you have an agent that you're committed to?
Well, right now we're open.
You're open. Okay. Do you have a home to sell? Are you renting? What is your current situation?
Well, we have a home that we're gonna sell.
Okay. Is it on the market yet?
No?
Okay. So if you found the right home, you would be ready to jump in and buy it. Do you have to sell to purchase?
Sorry, say that again?
Do you have to sell your home to purchase, or would you have to, if you found something, would you have to put your home on the market to make the purchase?
Well, it all depends on what the price is.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
If we don't have to sell, then we don't have to sell.
And what's the reason? Are you going bigger? Are you downsizing? You different location?
We're downsizing.
Okay. Understood. Well, let me ask you a favor. I am not the real estate agent. I am the one, I'm kind of the nurse practitioner, kind of taking all the vitals. Would it be okay, since we do have a bad connection, can I have Ernestina reach back out to you and get some really detailed information and see how she can best help you find something?
Why isn't the actual real estate agent calling?
I'm sorry?
Why isn't the real estate agent calling? Why are you calling?
Because she's out doing what she does best. She's with clients. So when she's with clients, she shuts her phone off and gives them their undivided attention. And, we're just looking to find people that are in need of a true real estate advisor.
Okay, so when we're, I guess, ready to go to the route of buying and selling, then, if we're running your properties, then we'll go through you.
Okay, so as far as, we don't want to limit you to what is out there on the market. And, there's real estate agents do know about homes that are not yet currently on the market. And a really good agent is going to look for homes that are not yet on the market. Because we all know when a home goes on the market, if it's a great deal or if it's a great home, everybody wants it, and then you have competition. But if she really understands and knows what it is that you're looking for, she can find homes that potentially are going to be coming on the market and, just take it a little step further than just waiting for a home to come on the market and then letting you know.
Okay, that was a lot of mumble jumble. So what are you trying to get at?
It was, well, just, there's a lot of people that have a real estate license, a lot, but to truly earn your trust and to truly earn your business, there's very few out there that really do the job that you need in the process. Anybody can let you in a home. Anybody can write a contract, but this is a big investment in your future, and we take that very seriously.
Okay, so once again, what are you trying to get at?
I was just wondering if I could have Ernestina call you and just go through exactly what it is that you're looking for, so that she has a better understanding of being able to find you a home and give her the opportunity to earn your business.
Well, if the man or woman wants to call me, I don't have a problem with that.
You got it. And is this Reg? Is that your name?
Yes.
All right, Reg. I will have her. When is the best time for her to reach out to you?
Yeah, well, you can call me anytime. My phone's on 724.
You got it.
Okay.
I will have her give you a call later today.
Okay.
Thank you, Reg. You have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye. All right, that right there, that doesn't happen very often. There was a lot of meat in that one, Bree. Take the timestamp on this call, because you're going to want to definitely have that one recorded in a snippet.
This is
That for
recorded,
sure
right?
will do.
This is recorded, right?
It is.
Okay. So just to let you know, my website is houseminer.ca. I for some reason cannot get my, oh, there is a chat. Okay. I can send you.
All right. So I'm going to move this to, where is it at? Talk to lead and give him a call later today.
Yeah,
So-
buying and selling.
Yeah. Yes. So do you see how I was able to set you up and differentiate you?
Yeah.
Not just as a real estate agent, you are an advisor and your job is to earn his business.
Yeah.
Because he's going to talk to any other agent and there's let me show you a house. What are you looking for? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? What price? Blah, blah, blah. Let me send you properties. That's what everybody does. But as an advisor and as a confident agent that you are the best agent in your real estate market, you're going to go above and beyond because you can go into your multi-list and you can look at homes that have expired. You can look at homes. Let me ask you this question, Ernestina. People that bought real estate, I'm going to ask you this question first. What is the average time frame that people stay in their homes in your market before they sell? 5 years, 7 years?
Oh, it really depends. It really depends. Some people stay 20 years. Some people do stay 5 to 10 years.
Okay. But there's probably certain, and this is where whenever I was talking about if we're not talking to somebody and we're not making phone calls or we're not in front of somebody, the research, right? Research. This is what we research so that you would be able to say the average person on my market stays 3 to 5 years. How do we know that? We hone in on a particular, you call them provinces, right?
Yeah, we have Ontario.
Yeah, you hone in on a very small market. And you know every home that is buying, that is selling, that is listing, that is expiring, that is for sale by owner. You know everything about that piece of the market. And you basically, I'm going to say, make that market your bitch. You own that market. And that is what becomes your research. So when we run into situations like that, we have the confidence, no matter where he's buying, that we can go into that market and do the same research. So when we're looking at earning someone's business, what makes you want to do business with somebody that's selling you something? They start to earn your trust because they do what they say they're going to do and they're giving you value. So you heard him, and this is every single buyer out there in the market. Well, tell her to send me the properties that she has, and if she has something I want, I'll look at it.
Yeah.
I don't want that kind of client.
Yeah, exactly.
But the only reason he says that is because he doesn't know any better. Because he's probably worked with a bunch of crappy agents that do that. Okay, well, I'll send you a list. But we have to be better than that. We're not looking to sell him a home tomorrow. We're looking to earn his business. If it wasn't a bad connection, I probably would have continued that conversation a little bit longer, and I would have asked him, what can we do to earn your business? What are you looking for out of a real estate agent? And I promised you, he just said, well, I really don't know. What do you have to give me?
Okay.
And that's when I said, we have access to homes that aren't even on the market yet. So all you have to do is go into your MLS. When I was asking about people, how often they transition, now I'm going to go into my next question. If you go back 7 years ago to every home in a very small market that sold, and you cross-referenced that these homes did not come back on the market yet, you could put in, let's say he wants a condo. Let's say he wants a 2-bedroom condo. I'm seeing 514,000. He wants a 2-bedroom condo, 1 or 2 bedroom condo between 500 and 600,000. 7 years ago, Ernestina, what did those people probably pay for that condo if they bought 7 years ago?
300 to 380.
So they have some equity.
Yeah.
So you can start creating some buzz, because now you have a buyer that wants a 1 to 2 bedroom condo. You can narrow your search down to people that bought 7 years ago. And you can start a mail campaign. And you can start mailing them. I have a buyer that is looking for your home. And tell them about the buyer. Tell them he is downsizing, his wife, whatever story he has. Then those people are making a connection. Even if he doesn't buy a property, guess what you just landed? A potential listing.
Yeah.
So that's going above and beyond. And that was my very first phone call that I made in your system.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 31 more phone calls to make.
I'm shocked.
But you can see how having the confidence from doing the research in your market and knowing your market allows you to have those higher level conversations with the leads.
Yeah.
Because we have to forget that we want to convert, and that we want to put someone in our car, and we want to put a sign in their yard. Our job is to earn their business, because we are sold to 10 times all day long.
Okay.
We pop on Facebook, we're getting sold everything. We pop on Google, we're getting sold everything.
Okay.
We listen to the radio, we watch TV, we're getting sold constantly. And that's all they're looking at you as another salesperson. So setting ourselves apart is what's going to make that difference.
Yeah.
Now, do you know how to set a task in your system?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, let's just go through it real fast. I'm just going to hit your task.
Yeah, right there, right? Enter the
Right
task.
here,
Call.
it's so important.
Yeah.
Show
Call.
your value.
Okay.
Get
Get-
information on what he is looking for. All right. So here's what I'm going to give you a script. Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't appear that he has to sell to make a purchase. Depends on what he finds, is what he said. Now, this is all in the preparation, because what I would not want to have happen is him find the home of his dreams and not be prepared. So your job is to make sure that if you find him a home, that he's going to be fully prepared. I do not need to put a sign in your yard. I don't need to list your property. I just want to make sure that if we were to find you something, that you're ready to go without any hitching to giddy up. Do you know exactly what a buyer would pay for your home right now in today's market? That's what you're going to ask him. Because that's going to make the difference of how much equity he's walking away with to what his affordability and buying power is on the other end. So that's all you're testing. Say, I'm not looking to put your home on the market. I just want to really give you strong buying power in this process.
Okay.
Because that's what's most important. So you're looking to get that listing appointment, but you're not going, hey, let me come, see how much your home's worth, right? You're kind of showing him, I'm giving you value. I'm helping you. And here's the thing. If he don't want it, see you later, dude. Because he's never going to respect it if he doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
And he has no respect for authority, or he has no respect for what you're bringing to the table. And you don't want to work with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to put this on a high priority. We're going to set it for.
You said it today, right?
Yeah, that's what yeah, today's the 6th. We'll go PM and let's go 5 p.m.
Okay.
And then that way we can save it. So when we have our tasks, I don't look at when we're talking about, like, remember when I said 15 minutes is all you should be working your database on the leads that you never spoke to. We have another section of our database of our tasks and our follow-ups and our nurture.
Okay.
That's another entity, right?
So make the first ones that you never spoke to a priority first, and then follow up.
It depends. It depends on how many tasks you have. And
Okay.
it depends on where you are in your time, in your day, because when I put something on my calendar, if I do everything that I should be doing on my end, I have a 70% chance or more of getting them to the settlement table. So I treat these tasks like it's an appointment.
Okay.
So calling him back is your absolute top priority. This is like showing up at a listing appointment. This is like showing up at a buyer appointment.
Yeah.
So now he's in your task. So
Okay.
now, all right. So we just spent like over 15 minutes on one lead. So I failed to show you how many dials we can make in 10 minutes, but
I think this is going to be the wrong number. I think the number is incomplete.
well, and what's beautiful is, right, what we're going to know is in a second. I can't see it. So, yep. So now you just mark it as a wrong number. And guess what? Never have to call that one again. All right, I gotta move on my
And so
boxes.
now how do I set it up? Can you go through how do I set it up for the campaign?
Absolutely. So on your e-campaigns, you're going to select bad number
Okay.
and assign campaign.
Now, Beverly, certain campaigns have only certain number of repeats or whatever. How do I know how long this is going to be?
How long the campaign is?
And is there
I'm going to go back to
is
Bree
there-
and have her answer that question because I don't know.
So you'll notice.
Is there, no, so there is a follow-up question. Sorry, Brana.
Okay.
Is there also a notification with this campaign ends or repeats? Like, how do we know?
So you're not going to get notified that the campaign is ended. It'll just
Okay.
end. But you'll notice that if you look on the progress, it shows that there are 9
Yep.
different actions. If you click on the actual words bad number campaign,
Okay.
it'll open and you scroll down, it opens up all of the different campaigns and the different actions and lets you know what dates those are going to be going out. So this will end October 11th will be the last one that goes out.
Okay. So do I schedule a task to review or what do I do?
I would not.
No.
I would not, because when we start tasking, we start losing the priority of the tasks.
Okay. So now let's just say there is a emails, right? She received 29 emails. Do we
Fine.
bother to see if she opened any of them?
So that's where you're going to take advantage of this right here.
Okay.
This shows all your emails. So you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
And that way you can monitor and you can always, and this is another like subcategory. So just like my tag list, you're going to have all of your leads with bad phone numbers that are in a campaign or ended a campaign. And you have the ability back in that main dashboard to filter who can't you just filter out your campaigns, Brianna?
Sorry, you were asking if you can filter out the campaigns?
Yeah. Can I filter on who is in a bad phone number campaign for my
Yeah.
filter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you go to the home screen and you go and choose campaigns, you can choose yes, no. You go add filter item. You have to, yeah, clear that first.
Yeah, there's your campaign.
Just choose campaigns.
Campaigns, and then you skip.
And then
so
you choose has has none or has this campaign, whatever it is, depending on what your option is that you want to do.
Well,
And
there's not
then,
going to be a lot because that's what I was saying. Like I wasn't doing filter.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So now look, you're down to 30, because we talked to one and moved to talk to. We did one that went to a bad phone number. So these are never going to fall in this filter again.
right.
Yeah.
So right now we're already working on eliminating more calls down the road. Now you have new leads coming in, which is always going to be that cyclical process. But I get more geeked out about cleaning it up and moving people around than I do about the conversations. Because then I know I got a really clean database and I can just jump in at any time and pick up where I left off because it's caught up. Did we have anything that popped up? I see there's some things in the chat in the Q&A. Is there
Yep,
anything?
there is. I was just going to mention that there is. Ryan Gosley is asking if you have a really old leads that you haven't called in over a year or two. Do you have any scripts that you can suggest?
Yes. It's as simple as, hey, this is Beverly. This is a blast from the past. A while ago, you were online looking at some homes, and I'm just wondering if you're still in the market, or were you able to find something? That's it. And I always
Awesome.
open it, hey, blast from the past, just kind of making some fun. And I don't say a year ago or 6 months ago or whatever it is ago, because they may still be online looking. They just may not be on your site.
You're welcome, Ryan. Yeah, that's a valid point. Like if you just kind of make fun and make it like you've spoken to them in the past, they're not going to
Yes.
remember if you actually did or didn't.
Yes.
Exactly.
So you're just looking to see, and those are my favorite leads to call actually, because they're incubated.
Because they're not getting bombarded.
Think, oh, well, they signed in today. They're looking for a home tomorrow. No, they're looking for a home 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. It's technology has put access to us right at our fingertips. Then who doesn't like looking at the real estate market?
Exactly.
So the incubated leads, I mean, you're going to get a lot of, no, I already purchased, but that just tells you have quality leads in your dashboard. You just dropped the ball. But you are going to have people who are like, no, I haven't bought yet. I was going to start next month. I promise you it'll happen. You'll get some.
Well, that's exactly why I'm starting to organize myself, because I realize that I'm actually paying for leads and I'm not doing anything about it, right?
Yes.
Yes. Sidetracked. I'm not like, it's not like I'm not working. I'm working on other things, right? But
yeah. Well, and that's a roller coaster, right? It's when we don't have the deals, we get into our database and then we create the jobs, or we create the business, and then we let the database go, and then we got to go back to the database. It's that roller coaster.
Yeah.
So it really is being mindful of having that balance.
I always tell my clients, if you at least dedicate a bare minimum of 30 minutes a day just to even take a peek into your CRM system, you'd be surprised what's there and what you can accomplish in 30 minutes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Was there anything else? I see there's two in the chat now.
No, it's all clear. Ryan was just saying thank you.
All righty. Absolutely.
We're good.
Please leave a message.
Well, that didn't even take 23 seconds. I love those. Like, yeah, you saved some time on that one.
Helps you make up time.
It does, for sure.
Did you mark it as a task or anything, or did you not?
Nope, you just keep going.
Okay.
What tasks? Because there's nothing to task. We don't know anything about them, right? There's nothing to make a note on. There's nothing to do anything with other than just try to find out where they are in the process.
I usually just save it that I make the call. So
Was that a bad? I didn't hear what that said.
It sounded like a bad number to me.
I'm going to be redundant.
Welcome to Niagara Health. Bienvenue à Niagara.
Well, now I know why I didn't hear it. It was a different language.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't even know what that said. And, nothing gained, nothing lost. Put it on a bad phone number campaign.
Okay.
So couldn't understand the message. Think it's a bad number. Yeah. So I'll
I
just
think
put
that's really important. What you're doing there too is a lot of times agents forget to make their notes as to what happened with that call. And then they don't know why they've put it on a bad number or what the situation was, right?
Yep.
Really
and then you
important
need
to make your
something here.
notes.
This is my favorite box right here.
Mm-hmm.
Message was different language.
Oh, what is
So
that
then-
box? I have never seen that box. What's that box?
Well, that's right there. So when you're clicking through your leads, let's just say, for example, I
Oh,
call.
so that's a note. That's a note that you can
Yes.
do.
Let's say I call Salim, but the voicemail picks up and says, "Hey, this is Becky." I would put a note here and say voicemail. Becky was on voicemail. So when I call back and Becky answers, I'm like, "Hey, Becky," because it's right there. I don't have to go through my notes.
There are people that when I call them, for example, I say, "Hi, I see that you have been looking at the properties or whatever," and they go, "Is this Becky?" Let's just use Becky, and Becky says, "Yeah, but I didn't sign up."
Oh, were you looking for somebody else? Was it your husband, your kids? And then I'll just have fun with it. I'm like, "Oh, who did you make mad? Did somebody use your phone number?" Or I'll go back and say, "Is this your email address?"
Okay.
Because if you confirm the email address, say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The email that I have on file, is that your email address?" And they're going to say yes or no.
Okay.
They go, "Yeah." Well, somebody just used your information, maybe your kids, your husband, significant other. Now, this is obviously a bad phone number, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just going to move this to invalid, and then we'll pop it on a campaign. And when I say 9 out of these, we're going to be, and this is the second or third one.
Yeah.
Yeah, third or fourth, actually, I think.
Yeah, so we're down to 27.
Don't worry about this one.
Why?
I believe I called this. How long ago is this signed up?
235 days ago.
That's a long time ago.
And you think you called?
Yeah.
I didn't call. Do you think you remember the outcome?
Hello, you've reached Raina at 416-833-3446.
All right, so you reached Raina, not Elizabeth.
No, I think it's just the wrong number, and I didn't mark it.
I can put it on a bad phone number campaign. It's one of those things.
Because there is a different name, right?
Yeah, it was Rana. Yep. But
So-
it doesn't mean that it's a bad phone number.
Exactly. Sometimes, there's multiple people that are, talking about looking at homes. One person, puts in a phone number of the other person as opposed to themselves, because that's really the person who's going to be dealing with it. Or
But
sometimes people can be looking for a friend, so you just never know. It could be a valid number.
I don't know, Brana, because there are some people that use genuine information, as we just
For sure.
realized. All right. But
Yep.
for example,
And I don't do anything until I've confirmed it.
if
Absolutely.
if I go anywhere and somebody wants my email, I use a fake email that I made just for the purpose of marketing. Right. And
So
I
is
never,
it a fake email or is it just a junk email?
it's a fake email that I just give them my email address that I created and all the crap from every store that I ever go to, because I just don't want to have that,
I do the
hassle.
same thing. Yeah, I have a Beverly Ruffner 827 at Gmail. Yeah, that's where all of my
And it's a
marketing.
Yahoo and it's not Gmail, and it's, where somebody can, in a way, trace it. And so it's just,
That is correct.
Yeah.
So I look at this lady as 23 seconds. I do not know, and I'm never going to assume.
okay.
So that's why I put this in here. So it was Rana. Hey, Rana, I was looking for Elizabeth. I don't know who Elizabeth is. Well, I have an email address. Do you happen to know who that might be? Then I definitely have a wrong phone number. I'm so sorry. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Or you could just put it on a bad phone number campaign and let it go. It really all depends on your capacity of time and how much juice you want to squeeze out of the lemons.
Yeah.
But I never throw the baby away with the bathwater until I absolutely, or this is a bad one. So this is just a test lead. So we can actually move this one to archive.
Archive.
Mm-hmm.
Is that archive or delete?
Archive and delete is
Same.
really the same thing. The only difference is that
But this
when we
looks
used
like
to
this is-
delete it, when we used to delete it in the past, it would be gone. Now, if you need to recover your archives, you can.
All right. So this is obviously not a good number.
This is actually AgentLocator
Oh,
in
it is?
January. You see that? Lena from AgentLocator, because we were testing, we had a problem with the system at certain
Oh, so we
point.
can archive this.
Yeah. I'm just so surprised because like the lead that was 200, and that's okay.
But look at the cleanup. We're down to 24. And I've
Mhm.
been yapping the whole time.
730 days ago.
Is not assigned. Please check the number and try the call.
So if it's not a sign, I don't know what that means in Canada. Is that a bad number?
Yeah, it means it's an invalid number.
Is there any way to filter it? What was the latest lead?
What do you mean? What was the latest?
Like a leads that actually we received just recently.
Yeah.
They're
so-
all at the top of your CRM,
yeah. Let me
always
show
the
you.
front.
Okay, you see, because no, I meant for the buyers, right? Because we were going to buyers, and some of the mine are also.
So I like the leads that registered 200 some days ago and we're just in an email 3 days ago. Those are
Yeah.
your highest
No,
priority.
I know, but you see what I'm wondering, because like I have a buyer campaign on a certain budget, and if the last lead was there 39 days, that means I didn't receive the lead for 39 days, right? So I already contacted Sunny to schedule appointment and what's happening there with the buyer's campaign to review it. Because I mean, we're looking at leads that signed up 730 days ago.
Mhm.
Okay.
And if they're actively engaged in the email campaigns, those are your hottest leads. But what you could do is you can sort it right here by the registration date and you can show most recent first.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking. That's what the latest sign-ins. If we
Yeah,
can.
you can sort any of these by however
Okay.
it is that you want to sort them. But these are older leads. You've never called them. And that's why they fell in this filter, because their number of calls 0. There's no time frame that was set.
Okay.
They've never been put into a pipeline outside of not set new lead or tried to contact. So they've never been attempted. So yeah, they may have registered over a year ago, but there's never been an attempt for a phone call.
Okay.
And that's why they fell in the filter. So as long as you're making, the only people that should be in these filters are your brand new leads that just register. Because once you clean these out, they're not going to fall back in here because there's a call attempt made to them. And then it'll pop you to the next filter.
Okay. Let me check. Okay. So
I'm just going to take a gander at your next filter. So these are your new leads that we still need to make contact. So you can watch your filter right here. So these have had one phone call. The phone, we don't know, or we know it's good. It's the same thing, new lead.
And they haven't been called in more than 2 days.
Yep. So there's 40 in here. Now
It's
that lead just came in. So they're rental. There's a home buyer right there.
yeah,
just-
home buyer right
there you
there.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, you can go up here, add your filter item, lead source,
Lead type.
lead status. There we go. Sorry.
Type.
Oh, is it lead type?
Yep.
Dang. There it is. There it is.
There's many of them.
Home buyer.
See, but it goes back to 2018. That's what I'm telling you.
No, the 2018, Ernestina, where that's confusing you is that's the day they actually registered in your site. So they came into your CRM system on October 16th, 2018. But if you look under the activity section, they were on your site 1 day ago. So
Okay.
they're still looking. So when you look at the registration source, those are the dates that they physically came to your website from your ad way back when and registered.
Okay. So actually, it's actually listing it by the time that they were looking at the properties latest, right?
Right here. Yeah. Do you see the drop down? So
Yeah.
September
Yeah, I
5th,
see.
they were looking at this MLS number. Yeah.
Yeah.
These
Okay.
are your absolute best leads.
Okay. Yeah, because it takes people a while to go and buy it, right? Like some people sign
But
into
now this one, she registered back in July and she hasn't
Yeah.
been in for 2 months. I'll take this one over that one any day.
Okay.
So you can always sort by activity.
Okay.
So you can say, all right, I want show most recent first. And that's exactly what you've got right now.
Okay. Can you save this filter?
It is your
It's already there.
It's right here. It's your second filter.
Okay.
The only thing I did different is I added your lead type as home buyer. I took out the rentals.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just try calling Karen. Well, I'll actually click open it up. No, not going to save it. And you can, if you do your lead type and you pull, you can save it as that if that's what you want your call filters to be.
Yeah, I have to, I'll play with it. Don't worry.
Is it ringing?
Uh-huh.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, it rang. 23 seconds, boom. Now I know we've made, well, we were down to what, 20 something. We made at least 10 dials, at least.
Probably close to it. Yeah.
So it doesn't really take much, to jump in here and have one conversation. But these are your best friend. As long as you keep these cleaned up, you're not going to have a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, well, once you start actively keeping consistent with these two filters, you're not going to have that many people in there. And when I go into a system and I'm looking at how many leads are in not set new lead, try to contact, if there's 200 leads in a dashboard and 170 are in this, I'm like, you're not making enough phone calls. Because the whole name of the game is have more conversations. And the only way we can have conversations is in that attempt to get a hold of them. Because the text and the email is doing its own thing. So
Yeah.
you also definitely want to be cognizant of what's going on up here.
Absolutely.
See, so my mistake is also when I make a contact, I actually set them up in my phone and in their number, right?
Mhm.
And I no longer go through this because this one is falling through all the messages together. So if somebody is texting me, I just say, oh, you can text me directly, right? In here, give them my cell phone number. And then I remember the name that I made a contact with and I take them
And
out.
that's fine. But the most important thing from that is to come back in here and make the note.
I didn't. Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, with using Twilio, understand that it's not unusual for people to have multiple business numbers these days.
Yes.
So really, it's not a big deal if they've got both numbers. And the more when you're still building that relationship in the very beginning that you're using Twilio, the better off you're going to be, because all of that information is going to get recorded within the CRM system until you've
Yeah.
got a strong enough relationship with them that it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Wonderful. That was actually a great session. I don't know about anybody else, but I thought it was amazing. I truly enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else did. Unfortunately, we are out of time.
Thank you.
It
And
went so fast.
sorry?
It went so fast.
I know time flies, when the good conversation, the good tips and everything like that, and questions and the calls, like when you go through and that call that you had with Reg was amazing. I made a note of the time frame on that. And so thank you again, Beverly and Ernestina. We really, really appreciate your time. And just everybody have a great day. We will be posting this recording on Agent Locator. Usually we post it on Facebook as well. So if you go to our YouTube channel, it'll end up there as well. And everybody will get a copy of this later on today or over the next few days also. Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much,
Now,
Beverly.
work your magic with Reg. Go get him.
I'll do my best. I'll do my
Have a
best.
great day, everybody. We'll talk to you
Bye, everybody.
soon. Bye.
Bye.